Hi friends, good morning. This is Dr. Sheetal Agarwal from Apollo Spectra, and once again we are coming with a very nice educative topic of teenage pregnancy. This is the series of educational topics which I am bringing for my viewers so that we can just improve our knowledge. So, what is teenage pregnancy? How we can avoid teenage pregnancy? What are the sides of teenage pregnancy? और ये होती क्यों है? We will discuss everything in detail. So, what is teenage pregnancy? We also call it adolescent pregnancy. Any pregnancy less than 19 years of age, we call it as a teenage pregnancy. And you know that the overall 11% incidence of all the childbirths in the world are in teenage pregnancy. So it's a pretty high incidence of teenage pregnancy. So what are the causes of teenage pregnancy? ये क्यों होता है? According to me, what I can gather and what I can understand, the main cause of teenage pregnancy is poverty. All those young girls who are who are homeless, who are staying in the streets, or who are staying in this railway platforms, these young girls, they are not even aware of their sexuality, and they fall prey to the rogue elements of our society, and they become pregnant, and they are not even aware of it, they are pregnant. Do you know that many a times a child even doesn't start her periods, but if she starts ovulating and she does not see her periods, there is still a chance for her to become pregnant. So we have to be very careful. These girls, these vulnerable girls who fall prey to sexual violence, they have to be really taught, they have to be really told about their sexuality. So this is poverty is one cause of teenage pregnancy. Second cause which I can think of teenage pregnancy is lack of education. The young children, they are not aware of their reproductive system, they are not aware of the female genital system, and they just because of the surge in the hormones at adolescence, they want to explore their sexuality, and they end up in having unprotected sex without being aware that how can it affect their mental and physical health. So lack of education is another very important cause of teenage pregnancy. Third cause I could feel is peer pressure, especially in urban setup. There is lots of peer pressure on these young girls with their friends saying, I have X number of boyfriends, I have done this, I have done that, and just to be in the group, just to be a part of that society, a part of that peer group, at that peer pressure, they end up having unprotected sex, and in the process harming themselves. So another reason which I can feel of unprotected sex is this teenage pregnancy is, in many cultures, in many religions, there is lots of social and family pressure on the parents that once their daughter starts having menses, she should be married off. That mentality, कुड़ी लड़की तो पराया धन है, इसको अपने घर भेज दो. So that mindset, I'm really sorry to say, but that mindset is still prevalent in certain sections of the society, and they feel that once she starts menses, she should go to her marital house and let the boy and his family take care of her. So that can again lead to teenage pregnancy. So these are roughly some of the causes of teenage pregnancy. How do you diagnose teenage pregnancy? Like I have already told you that she may not even start her periods, and she is ovulating and she has unprotected sex, she can become pregnant. So how do we diagnose teenage pregnancy? First and foremost is that she will miss her periods if she has started her periods. Now here I would like to tell you that very important, in the beginning the cycles are irregular. They are most of the time they are anovulatory cycles. Ovulation may not have taken place. The cycles come after 2 to 3 months in a young girl, in the adolescent girl who has just started her periods. So the cycle will be irregular, or there may be some spotting at the time of her cycle, and she may be pregnant. So the mother or the guardian has to be very careful when she sees her young daughter who has skipped her periods, and she should be, at the back of her mind, she should be worried about it. Then she can have breast tenderness, she can have nausea, vomiting, this perpetual feeling of tiredness. These young girls, they are, they're on the threshold of puberty, the nutritional requirement is increased, and they have become pregnant. So there is lots of nutritional deficiencies starts happening in their body, and there is that feeling ki always they are tired, they are fatigued, they feel like sleeping, they have lack of interest in their school activities, in their physical activities, they just don't feel like doing it. They may drop out of the school, very important, they may stop going to the school or the college where they are going. Then there is these are generally the normal symptoms of teenage pregnancy, which we have to be very careful of. Then how does it affect the mother and the unborn child? Very important. Teenage pregnancy can have profound repercussions on the mental and the physical health of this young girl. The girl is so anxious, she's so afraid, there's that feeling of shame which engulfs her. She does not confide in her guardians, she does not confide in her mother, she may not even confide in her friend circle, with the result that she does not get access to any medical aid that she could be given at this age. By the time she comes out in the open, the pregnancy is so advanced that nothing can be done except to give birth to the child. So there is so much mental pressure on that girl. The chances of her going into depression, the chances of her going into postpartum depression are very high. So it really affects the mental psyche of that young girl. We really have to be very careful of that. Then it can have physical impact also on the young child. As I have told you, the nutritional requirement at puberty already increases because she is gaining her height, her muscle mass is improving, and upper say she becomes pregnant. There is chances of nutritional deficiencies, particularly anemia. In fact, I have seen young girls going into severe anemia with their hemoglobin falling to as low as 5 gram %. So there is really a very high incidence of anemia in these young girls. Second, when you are pregnant and your age is less than 15 years, chances of having high blood pressure complicating your pregnancy is very high, to such an extent that this high blood pressure can make you throw fits and convulsions, leading to a state called eclampsia or preeclampsia, which can really jeopardize the life of the mother and the life of the unborn child. So high blood pressure, anemia are very important complications of these teenage pregnancy. Then what about the newborn child who is born? This newborn, there's a chances of preterm labor is very much in these girls. The chances of low birth weight, because they did not get access to proper nutrition, they did not get access to proper antenatal care, to the iron supplements, calcium supplements, the chances of having low birth weight baby is very high in this. The child who is born has delayed milestones. Maybe his mental development is not complete, maybe his physical development is not complete, so that child can have various delayed milestones later on in the life. So we have to be very careful of this also. So these are some of the complications of teenage pregnancy which a mother and the child both can face. Then how do we prevent teenage pregnancy? How do we go about preventing teenage pregnancy? In my opinion, education is the cornerstone of preventing teenage pregnancy. And by education, I mean not formal education, but informal education, which starts at home, which starts with the mother teaching the child. Mother is the first teacher of her daughter. She has to be very open about sexes and menses. This taboo around sex and menses, the time has come that this taboo should be over. Mother should sit with her daughter, have a frank discussion with her regarding sex, regarding menses, and it should be such an open discussion that a child should not have any hesitation to approach her mother in case she faces any sexual assault or she has undergone any problem in her school, in her society, otherwise. Anyone who molests her, she should be free to talk to her mother. That should be the level of confidence the child should share with the mother. That should be the rapport a mother and child should have. Now, I told you that poverty and the street urchins and homeless people, the incidence of teenage pregnancy is very high. So how do we teach them? For them, we have to take help of all the NGOs at grassroots level, and we should conduct open sessions with them. We should tell them about sex. We should tell them about the female sexuality, female reproductive system. At the same time, we should educate them about contraception. Very important. We should tell them that, okay, you have been sexually assaulted, but that doesn't mean you should become pregnant. We should tell them the various contraceptive options which are available to them, which they can use to avoid teenage pregnancy. And if they will not use, this harm can come to your body, physical body, and to the unborn child who is born. So for this, we have to take the level of we have to take the help of various NGOs. And I feel the Anganwadi workers in our country, in India, Anganwadi workers who plan midday meal to the students, they should be involved. Their help should be taken, because if you are giving meal to the young girls, it is very important that along with that, you start opening up with them. You start discussing with them regarding menses, regarding sex, regarding contraception. I'm sure this will go a lot way. We will we should talk to them about menstrual hygiene. We should talk to them about sex. Very important. We should talk to them about the contraception. We should talk to them that at no point they should be vulnerable. They should be scared if anyone approaches them with bad intention. If they are not open up with their mothers, then they should come to these Anganwadi workers. They should come to these NGOs. Society as a whole has to pitch in. It is not one person who can, or not my educative video that can help. The whole society as a whole has to pitch in, has to do these educative videos, has to tell them that this is not their fault. We have to get them out of the guilt कि ये तुम्हारी गलती नहीं है. This is not your fault that you have been sexually exploited and you have become pregnant. Help is available. So once they have this confidence, I'm sure to a large extent we will be able to curb this problem. But we have to take baby steps somewhere. हमें कहीं ना कहीं पे शुरुआत करनी है. So what will happen? Suppose this teenage pregnant lady comes to the doctor. What are the options that we as a gynecologist have? Say if she has come very early in pregnancy, within 1 or 2 months, she can definitely go for an abortion. We can do medical abortion. We can give medicines for her abortion. In our country, abortion is legalized till 20 weeks. But I'm sorry to say, most of them, they are so scared to approach us. By the time they come, their pregnancy is so advanced. It is, in 6th, 7th month of their pregnancy that we cannot go for an abortion, and we have to deliver the child. In that case, we can give them the option of adoption, that if you are not comfortable in bringing up the child, we can rope in some social organizations and we can give them this option of adoption. Or if the parents of the girl child are comfortable, they can adopt the child and bring up the child. So these are some of the options which are available to us. I remember very early in my practice, I had a call from one of my patients, and she told me that her young daughter, who was just 13 years old, was having severe pain in the abdomen. I told her to bring her to my OPD. When she came to my OPD, this girl was full-term pregnant. She was in labor pain since last 3 days. The head was about to come. And her mother, nobody knew that she was pregnant and she's going through labor pains. That girl always used to wear shawl and sweater. She used to hide herself, even in peak summers in our country. So, the mother has to be very observant. She should not be critical. She should not criticize that child, but she has to be very observant. And as I have told you, she should have that special rapport with her daughter, so that daughter is very comfortable to talk to her. So coming to that patient, when I saw she was in labor, we had lost the child by that time, and it was good 3 kgs child which we born, a fresh IUD. So a 13-year-old, and then we really had to do lots of counseling for that young girl. And now that she's married and she has her own children, but I remember at that time, around 15-20 years back, we really had to rope in psychologists, psychiatrists and myself, and we had to counsel the mother and the daughter extensively so that there are no repercussions on her mental health. So this was all about the teenage pregnancy, which I wanted to discuss with you all. I'm sure next week I'm going to come with another very interesting educative video for you all, and I hope you enjoy my videos. So all the best, take care, have a very nice weekend. We will meet next week again. Bye, take care.